Okay, today is Mr. John Coleman's engine that we just built for him. This is a Pontiac 400. We got a stroker crank in it with 30 over bore, so it ends up being 461 cubic inches. We're running a 5C cylinder head, which is a 1975 cylinder head off of 350. I told John it was a 73, my bad. I didn't look at the date code on these, and it's actually a 75 cylinder head. As you can see right there, it's an L13-4, which is December 13th of 1974, which is a 1975 casting. The engine block is a 1973 400, and you can see the date code on that down there. I think you can anyway, which is A183, so it's a 1973. Block casting code 988. Which is a good blocks. We don't use 557 blocks. These cylinder heads have been ported and polished with our street strip porting, which flows roughly about 240-250 CFM, which is good for up to 500 horsepower. The engine's been balanced, of course, and we neutrally balance our engines so that they're internal, not external like the factory did. The factory, what they did was they would put three or four holes on the one side of the flywheel, and that would make the flywheel out of balance, and they actually use the flywheel to balance the crank assembly. But when we do these over, we don't do that. We make it an internal, which is neutrally balanced. And so we did that. It's got an MSD ignition in it now, which has been recurved for the engine with a total of 33 degrees timing at 3,000 RPM. Has a Performer RPM intake manifold on it that we port matched and ported to match the cylinder head. Has a quick fuel 850 CFM double pumper with a down leg booster in it. The difference between a down leg and an annular booster is the booster is further down in the venturi, which is why they call it a down leg, and it gives the booster a little bit stronger signal. And these carburetors work great. I love quick fuel carbs, especially for Pontiacs. They seem to be pretty close right out of the box for a Pontiac. But anyways, we got it's 850 CFM, which is a perfect for this street car. We used a Power Bond SFI steel balancer on this. Our engines rev so quick that I'm worried about a cast iron balancer coming apart, so we always use a steel balancer, SFI certified, on our builds so that we don't have to worry about that. Another thing we do too is we use a brass freeze plug in our engine blocks. We used to use steel, and like the old saying goes, you get what you pay for. And so what happened, we found out that the steel plugs are starting to rust out at about 2-3 years, and customers complain about coolant leaks. So we quit using those and put brass in now. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire this old girl up here, let you guys hear how it idles. The cam is a Comp Cam's 236-242 with a 110 lobe separation. Has like 520, 540 lift with a 1.5 rocker. And this thing idles pretty nice at right around 1,000 RPM. So we'll fire this thing up, and if we get an opportunity here and I got enough video time left, we'll do a video with the mufflers off too. Just, you guys can hear it with and without a muffler on it. All right, Luke, go ahead and fire it up. As you can see, this thing idles right around 1,000 RPM. We've already warmed this thing up. Right now it's running about 160 degrees. That's what the thermostat is that we have in it. Don't pay any attention to this gauge over here. That's our air fuel gauge, and we don't have it hooked up, so it just flashes 100. Oil pressure is still a little bit high because the engine's not like 100% warmed up like if you were driving for 20 miles. So normally these things idle right around 20 psi at idle when it warms up fully. This thing's got a nice idle to it. We like to call it our drive-in idle camshaft that we use. Sounds good when you go to a cruise in, pull in. Compression ratio on this engine is 9 1/4 to 1, so it'll run on 93 octane real easily. hydraulic roller lifter in these, and as you can see here, it's pretty quiet.